Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Friday, the 4th day of October. It's National Golf Lovers Day. Your daddy's a golf lover.
Yeah, he is.
I wish I was a golf lover. I
do like it when we play it. We
I need to
never play it.
I'm not very good, that's all. National Taco Day. I do love tacos. National Vodka Day. Heidi loves vodka. Ship, S-H-I-P, like boat, ship in a bottle day. I wanted to make sure I spelled that because I didn't want anybody to be confused. And, that'd be kind of a whole different thing. International Toot Your Flute Day, Improve Your Office Day, and World Animal Day. Oh, it's also Kids Music Day. So there's a lot of stuff going on today. Oh, World Smile Day as well.
Aww.
Man, I gotta move on because there's a bunch. You can see the whole list in the show notes. I've got a guest, not one, but two guests joining me, Edith Lemay and Edmund Stenson, and we're going to chat with them about a new movie that hits theaters tonight. It is a documentary, so it's like not a fake movie. It's like a real thing where they journaled or like video recorded, whatever you call it, tracked Edith and her family as they go around the world. She's got 4 children. 3 of the 4 have a condition where they're going to be blind soon.
Yikes.
So they're out seeing the world while they can.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we'll be chatting with them all about that coming up.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. California scientists have unveiled a groundbreaking smart mask that doesn't just protect you from germs, it analyzes your breath and gives you a mini health check. While other smart masks in development focus on physical factors like breath rate or temperature, the EB Care mask, short for Exhaled Breath Condensation Analysis and Respiratory Evaluation, that's what that stands for, dives deeper, examining the very molecules you exhale. Its developers say its potential application for this technology could include things like monitoring chronic conditions like asthma or COPD, tracking metabolic health, or even detection of early signs of respiratory infections. They say that one day you could be able to adjust your medication or lifestyle in real time based on what your breath is telling you. Or you could be aware of and treat illness symptoms before the symptoms even appear. So you could treat the illness before you even realize you're sick. So a lot of cool stuff apparently going on there. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know at least 1.5 billion golf balls are lost in the United States every year? According to Found Golf Balls CEO Sean Scheinfeld.
I could see that because even just when you see the haul that they bring out from local golf courses when they go into the water,
this company recovers and resells millions of lost balls in the United States and Canada. A course manager for a Danish golf union has researched. They've researched the sport's environmental impact, saying the worldwide figure could exceed 3 to 5 billion golf balls lost every year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Former WWE boss Vince McMahon has come out against the Netflix docuseries Mr. McMahon. Just recently came out. He went on his Twitter account the day that it came out, and he said, the producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built. Unfortunately, based on an early partial cut that I've seen, this documentary falls short and takes a predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self. So he said a lot has been misrepresented and left out entirely to
they
leave
do that,
viewers intentionally confused.
You got to be careful.
Yeah. So I've not seen it. I saw that it was on Netflix, but I've not watched. Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi have signed on to star in Emerald Fennell's anticipated Wuthering Heights adaptation.
Oh.
Set to play, they're set to, it was first published in 1847. It's not set to shoot then. That would have been a long time ago. It's set to shoot in 2025. That's what I've been trying to say.
Huh.
Big screen, little screen. Brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on RadioSavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at RadioSavings.com. That's RadioSavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A study has found that 65% of people agree that spandex should not be worn at work.
I would agree with that as well.
Do you wear something with spandex, or you just wear spandex?
I think they're talking like leggings or spandex pants or shorts or whatever.
65% agree you should not wear spandex to work. A lot of that depends on the job as well. You know, if you're an Olympic athlete, probably, because that's kind of what that's for.
And if you work from home, you wear whatever you want.
All right. And a company has developed a type of pants that come with a built-in exoskeleton powered by powerful motors. This can increase the wearer's leg strength by 40% and make them feel 30 pounds lighter.
Oh,
So
interesting.
the Arctrix Mogo, M-O/G-O.
They would have to be heavy, you would think.
These hiking pants, which is short for mountain goat, the Mogo hiking pants, comes with carbon fiber support structures that feed power from AI-controlled motors at the knees to the wearer's leg muscles during ascents and decreasing pressure on their knees during descents.
Huh.
The pants, which look like regular khakis with an outside brace on each leg, are designed to make hiking more accessible to people who may not have the endurance for hiking. The motors located on the sides of the knees are powered by a battery pack that you put around your waist. The battery recharges automatically while the wearer is walking downhill.
All righty.
So the thing that's fascinating to me is I think this could be a good step in the right direction for people who have limited mobility. And I know that's not what they're saying these are for. In this story, they're saying these are for people who want to go hiking. You'll feel 30 pounds lighter. It increases your leg strength by 40%. But I know people who are, they have limited mobility. They're either in a wheelchair or if they are walking, they're utilizing some sort of walking aid. If this could replace all of that and they would be able to walk around, what an amazing thing that would be. So
interesting.
I hope that's where this goes. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John Ed Heidi Show on a Friday. Excited to visit with Edith Lemay and Edmund Stenson. Edith is the mother of 4 children. 3 of the 4 have been diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. It's a rare, incurable disease that will lead to blindness. And they took a year to get out and see the world in some of the most beautiful places on the planet before their children lose the ability to see such beauty. Director Edmund Stenson is joining us as well. We're going to start with Edith. This story is near and dear to you. It's a documentary about your family. Let's talk a little bit about what Blink is about.
It's actually a story about my family because 3 of my kids have been diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a disease that causes blindness over time, so they're losing their eyesight. And we decided to show them the beauty of the world before it's too late. So we set out on a big adventure and we traveled the world for a year.
Let's now visit with Edmund. The sites that you chose to go see, how did you pick that? When you've got the entire world and you're saying, okay, we're going to go and see the beautiful sites, how did you pick the sites that you were going to see, Edmund?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for us, it was, once we met the family and got to know the story, we realized that it was going to be a lot more than simply basically a travel log. So we were trying to find places that could help tell a more metaphorical, emotionally rich story of family life. Because if we want, for people to love this film and people to feel connected to it, we knew we needed to tell a deeply personal, intimate family story. So we chose the locations like the Nepalese mountains that had, it's a visually rich metaphor for overcoming obstacles, or we chose the Egyptian desert because it's a visually rich metaphor for spiritual reflection. So we made sure that the locations we chose reflected either the interior states of our characters or some larger emotional journey on the film.
And the movie starts out with the family making a trek through a snow-covered mountaintop. From the very beginning, you're just looking at the amazing beauty. But Edith, what was it like being there? That had to be kind of scary.
No, actually, after a year of adventure around the world, we've been in so many uncomfortable situations, and especially us being from Montreal, like the snow was something we're used to. Now, we were there, there was not many moments where it was scary. It was more adventure. I think the kids get really excited the more special the place is.
As you were making these trips, Edith, had you been to any of these places before, or was this your first time to see all of this as well?
All of them, I think there were, except Namibia. I had been to Namibia before, but all of the other country, it was the first time for us.
And what was that like for you to witness this for the very first time yourself, and for your children to get a chance to see this, and for it to be captured on film? That had to be just quite the experience.
Yes, but actually the part that's captured on film is quite small compared to everything that we experienced on that year around the world. But it was amazing to be able to show that to our kids, to see the world through their eyes as well.
Now, I'm reading here 3 of your 4 children diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, and that is something that will eventually lead to blindness, which I'm really sad to hear that. And that has got to be a tough thing to discover, that you got to deal with that. But it's amazing that you had a chance to go out to make this film, this documentary, for not just for your children to see this, but for the world to kind of come along for the ride. And you'd mentioned it was a year on the road. And I'm wondering, how in the world, Edmund, how do you figure out, you got a year worth of stuff, how do you figure out what goes on the screen? That's got to be the most difficult part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just clarify that Edith and Seb's, we started with Edith and Seb 6 months into their journey, so they'd very much budgeted and worked out how they were going to pay for the trip before we joined them. But it was a question principally. We have an associate editor on our film whose job is to go through the hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage, as you can imagine, that Edith accumulated as she shot. And so I want to give a big shout out to her for going through all of these family videos and finding all of the best bits to help us tell the story that we principally shot. But like I said, I think as a documentary filmmaker, yes, you're capturing real life. And yes, you're trying your best to let real life happen in all the ways it can, all its beauty and all its chaos. But your job is to be doing so in a way that leads towards a story. And as you make the film, you're already thinking about what the story is going to become in the edit suite. And luckily, when you're in documentary, editors are very much second directors. So I was lucky enough to be working with 2 parents who brought fresh perspective to the film and were able to take the initial ideas I had as I was on this journey and shape them into the film that you see today.
Well, it's beautifully done. Edmund, Edith, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us about it today.
Thank you so much.
Again, the film is called Blink. It is in theaters as of tonight. I've got a link to the trailer and all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you're an average adult, you'll eat 2,000 pounds of food this year. I feel as though I'm way above average.
Wow.
I do that in a weekend.
Seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
As a rule of thumb, the darker green a vegetable is, the more vitamin C it contains.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
That's very interesting, yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lightning bolts are only about 2 inches wide. So,
what?
yeah, like 5 centimeters or 2 inches wide. So when and I don't know who was measuring these, they must have had a tape measure that was not made of metal. But that's kind of fascinating. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
On eBay, somebody once listed nothing at all. Want to buy it? How much do you suppose nothing at all sold for on eBay?
$500.
No, $22.04. Yeah. So if you're wondering what it costs to buy nothing, now you know. Several fun facts. Now you know on all of those. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi, and I wonder if this is the case for you. I don't know. The older you get, the less likely you are to do this. What is it? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Cry. The older you are, the less likely you are to cry.
Yeah, I don't cry very often.
We both were crying at a movie the other night. We're like, it was on what was the movie called?
Imaginary Friends.
Yeah, If we were watching this movie.
And I don't even know why I did cry. I was like, I don't cry.
Why was I crying? I'm like, because somewhere inside your chest, you do have a heart. That's why. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. We've all heard the speech from our dental hygienist about not flossing properly. You ever get that from the dentist? How often?
Yeah. How often do you floss?
You were there last time.
You were there.
6 months ago. You don't floss enough or don't floss at all. Well, here's a new spin. A dental pro-approved way to get the most out of flossing is to add toothpaste to the floss before using it. Yeah.
I wasn't doing it when it was a one-step process. I'm certainly not going to do it now that it's a two-step process.
And founder of Dentology, I don't know how you say it, clinic, posted a TikTok video that's gone viral now. Adding toothpaste to your dental floss can prevent cavities between your teeth. How? Well, they show you, and I've got videos that you can actually see. There's a company, Oral-B. Yeah. Oral Health Company. No, I'm sorry. Different company. Oral Health Company, B. Weiss Health.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. They say adding the abrasion of toothpaste in combination with the reach of floss between your teeth is a good way to get to that plaque, too. So I've got the links to the videos if you want to see them. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. The National Toy Hall of Fame has revealed the 12 finalists under consideration for entry into this sacred hall for this year. First time the Rochester, New York institution is floating the idea of including the classic items of interest to all young children, the balloon. Yeah, they're floating the idea of the balloon. See, they put that floating part way early, so nobody knew what that meant. Other first-time contenders are trampoline, party game Apples to Apples. Other possible inductees include Choose Your Own Adventure game books, Hess Toy Trucks, Sequence, the Pokemon trading card game, Phase 10, Transformer action figures, and My Little Pony. They're all up for the honor for a seventh time. My Little Pony is. So they've not made the cut the last six.
They should have. They were
Panel of
pretty
expert
important.
judges and the public will vote on this year's finalists. They'll be inducted in November. ToyHallOfFame.org.
I kind of feel like the balloon should have been in there a long time ago.
I've got a link to the list. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Another quote here that is anonymous. I don't know. I struck the anonymous gold when it came to quotes.
Clearly.
Let's share. You take the grenade, I'll take the pen.
I like that.
Depending on who you're talking to, that's a good quote.
I like
maybe.
that.
I don't know. It's a horrible quote. One or the other. That is your quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of genesisgoldira.com. Victoria is a mother who remembers the challenges of postpartum life. She's been quietly spreading acts of kindness in a way that has touched many hearts. In a recent video on social media, she shared how she discreetly places small notes and cash inside everyday necessities like diapers and formula packages, hoping to lift the spirits of other struggling moms. Her message was simple. You don't need much to make somebody's day. So she's like, you don't have to be a wealthy
Sure.
person. So even just a little handwritten note says the thoughtful gesture started with her hiding small bills like $5 bills, $10 bills, along with handwritten notes that offered encouragement. She explained in her video, I remember postpartum was the hardest time in my life.
It's tough.
It says if I were to get a little note that says, here's a coffee or a gift card, it would have made my entire day.
Absolutely.
Well, the response to her video has been overwhelmingly positive. Many viewers feeling inspired to follow in Victoria's footsteps. She made it clear that her actions were meant to show that even a small contribution could bring hope and joy to somebody's day. The caption of her post says, she deserved the purse, referring to another video where a woman in a baby aisle appeared to have chosen between a purse or diapers. So she left a purse sitting there. It seemed like she couldn't afford both, so the purse was left behind in favor of the necessity. Her post highlighted the importance of community support, especially during challenging times of motherhood. But small, meaningful contributions have sparked a wave of goodwill online as others began sharing their own stories of helping moms in need, further spreading the impact of her heartfelt efforts. So
I love that.
I love
wonderful.
that too. And, when we look at the good news, there are so many good news stories that are coming from the devastation that has been happening in the flood-ravaged parts of the United States. We're going to have many of those stories to come, I guarantee you. I've already seen some that are popping up, and we'll get those. But I thought this was such a great story. I thought it'd be a really good place to have a really good story for today. And I do have a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.